Welcome back to this week's episode of the Control and Freak podcast. I'm your host, Sean James, here with my fellow co-host,
Calvin Mantilla.
And today we have a very special guest, some food connoisseurs from SD and PB. We have the Fried Guys. Woo! Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, my name's Jay, co-owner. Do a lot of the marketing, social media, stuff like that, driving the brand up. And then we got...
I'm the chef, worked in a whole bunch of different, restaurants and whatnot, and I got tired of it, so I decided to start this out. And I can't do it without my good friends here, so this is my good friend Eric right here.
Yeah, this is Vinny.
Yeah,
My name's Eric. I am a fried guy for sure. That's kind of like my role here. I make the fries. But I'm basically helped us get all together and got us out here and started the whole thing. So, but without the help of these guys, we wouldn't be here. So
Perfect. Well,
thanks for having us, guys. And
no problem. Okay, so when did you guys first start Fried Guys? And who was the main proponent or propellant behind that?
So officially, we started the LLC in the 1st of February of last year.
Okay, so
officially a year now. But we didn't do our first event till 4th of July. So in that area. So we're almost at a full year now of being up and running, and it's been crazy. It's been really cool out here. So
Perfect.
Yeah, it took us a little bit to start it up. Just getting that idea of okay, where are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? Breaking it down, and we really took our time to map it out and brainstorm it. And we all came out to PB, stayed at my place, had these guys stay at my place, and we got a huge whiteboard, and we just started jotting stuff down, breaking the business down. Hey, how are we gonna get this started? What permits do we need? What equipment do we need? And so it took us a little bit to kind of navigate that, and starting that up in the spring, doing a bunch of test runs at the park, and we kind of officially launched in the summer last year, in July, 4th of July. Yeah.
What were those test runs like at the park?
There were.
Can it be pretty fun? Was it pretty fun?
It was a lot of fun, and it was just basically a cookout with friends, a little barbecue type thing. Getting our food up and going, because we just had our equipment. We were okay, we're ready to go, but we need to figure out our menu. We gotta know what it tastes like, you Exactly, yeah. And so we were just doing runs at the park and at Crown Point Park specifically, Mission Bay, PB right there.
That's the party area.
Yeah, and it was just kind of cool to just do it there. In the springtime, built it up, and we weren't really selling anything there. We were just trying to test it out, see how we could perfect the process.
Perfect. And has this always what you wanted to do? Or?
Yeah, I always wanted to start a side business out here in PB. I didn't think it would be a food business in a sense, but I always loved food and street food specifically, and French fries, being such a staple here in boardwalk fries. That's kind of a classic
that's a popular in SoCal.
Yeah, exactly. It fit exactly what we kind of like to munch on here. Loaded fries, specials, stuff like that, and that's kind of the vision we had for it.
And to segue off of what he was saying, it was so personally, me being the chef, I've been working in a lot of restaurants and got tired of the management, it's I was just kind of getting dicked around different ways and wasn't liking it. So, like I said, I hit up my good friends here. Jay happened to live in Jose or fucking San Diego already, and so he said, the map is great for that. People love street food.
Oh, street food is so popular down here.
It just kind of took off from there. I was all right, you let me crash on your couch. We're gonna build something crazy. So we're on our way up here. It's pretty fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, it's funny because he mentioned that we set up first in Crown Point,
and
we're all from Crown Point, Indiana.
Oh, really?
What? Hometown, we graduated from Crown Point.
So you guys all moved out here together?
Well, he lived out here a year before, and another thing that kind of took most of the time is he was in Indiana, I was in NorCal, so it's for us to get all together and then actually start it. It took a couple months and a lot of traveling in between of like going all over to really make it all happen. But we did it in a great time. We did it, I think, really efficiently. And then we set up and like we look around and we see our first event. We're like, this is Crown Point, like beach. Like we're from Crown Point, so just to see that and like kind of continue in that direction, it was like it was meant to be. So to actually make it happen, it was like fun. It's almost like a movie. So it's like the more we like get into the movie and everything, it's like things just start to happen, and it's like it makes working more fun because it's like, how did this even happen? You know, it's like now we can like actually sit back and talk about it and just like wow, like
the 4th of July was a fucking banger, bro.
What did you do
fun.
on the 4th of July?
So like how Crown Point Beach is set up, there's just kind of like the bay going on there.
That gets popping over
And
there.
it's like there's a hell of families that just come out and they're just trying to hang out. At one point they seemed like they ran out of food.
And they
it's
see
like,
you guys.
Yeah, they saw us chilling there and they were kind of like looking around. They're like, "Can we buy some food from you guys?" We're like, "Fuck yeah, you can."
Yeah, of course,
so,
of course.
We kind of created like a big old party. We had we set up a bunch of music situation. People were doing DJs. He did a fucking rap set.
Oh, really?
We had,
Okay,
our band out for a little bit, and it was just like we had food going, we had music going. It was like a little mini festival, which is really dope to get together with you guys and Control Freak, because it's like that's what started us.
Yeah.
It's like we started with the whole idea of we gotta create a little mini festival and like create our own community and fucking everybody's gonna have a great time.
Yeah, and that's why we like embraced like partnering with you guys. That was like a big foundation for us, is having like the vibe, having the music there. There's more to offer than just food in a sense, and it's like something that you gravitate towards. And we noticed that at that 4th of July event, people were just kind of sticking around, like they even weren't a part of our party in a sense, but they got food. There's live bands, live music right there throughout the whole day. And people just kind of started mingling, and it created a whole cool atmosphere of like a little tight community in a sense, and ended up creating a lot of good relationships out of that one day in itself. So it was really cool to kind of like carry that spirit along with us as we like progress to this point.
Some
The
dope
food and music going hand in hand.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and we knew that after that event, we were like, we got something going here. Like, we just had the banner and our T-shirts here, and we had everything priced at $8. It was super cheap. It was a flat rate.
I saw that on your guys' menu.
Yeah, and
it's like we're new here for the most part. It's like we didn't know what prices were like, and we had people stumbling over to our tent and being like, $8 for a hamburger. Like,
that carne asada fries, $8. Yeah, and for the way we prep it too, it's fresh, hand cut potatoes, and like seasonings made by this guy. It's definitely like something that we wanted to approach it with, was original ingredients, an original process, like fresh process, and a little different than like most fast food, and what we noticed, like what the taco shops do with their carne asada fries. It's frozen fries, but we wanted to make it fresh. We've seen we had a lot of inspiration with like In-N-Out and Five Guys, how they prepare their fries, like they're hand cut, and we kind of took their process and made it a little better. We felt like, made it our own.
Yeah, we saw your potato cutter over there. He got excited.
Yeah, I know, really excited. I haven't seen that since I was like on the baseball field in like 8th grade. So that was a throwback for me. It used to be out there.
It's a vintage one too.
Yeah.
We had a little better one than that, but that was like our backup, and our first one broke because we had so many orders that
Just
so
kept
many
going,
times
it
cut,
kept-
and it just kind of fell apart on us. So
And that $8 is definitely like $8 per item is definitely gonna like play into you guys' favor, because everything is so expensive down here.
right, for
And
sure.
you guys are giving them something cheap and also very tasty to eat as well, which I like about that.
When did you guys get your spot on Garnett? Garnett was the street you said it was?
Garnett and Dawes in Pacific Beach.
When did you get that spot?
PB.
Yeah.
Kind of an interesting situation. So the hardest part is finding somewhere to set this thing up. It's like
Right.
That
it's
was
a
tough
top
for
up.
us,
We got a tent, and it's like permits. Everybody's asking
figured
for
that was-
permits,
that's gonna be the-
and it's interesting. But we ended up just talking to. We were getting ready to set up on Crown Point for another like event with some people we knew, and I stopped to get some propane because everything we get runs on propane. So I just was like bullshit to the guy at the gas station. I was like, hey, I noticed that Mr. Schwarman used to be here, and they got their spot now. So it's like you kind of have an opening. You guys kind of open for it, and we ended up at the gas station in Crown Point. It was like a gas and auto place.
Right on
They
Ingram
also
Street.
do brakes and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, Ingram?
Yeah, right on
Papa.
Ingram.
Yep.
Yeah, and
And then we had some dude from Diamond Parking walk up,
mhm.
and we saw the little logo on there, so we're like, yo, what's up with that? We've been trying to get in on Diamond Parking. He was like, I'll put in the good word. He's sitting there eating our carne asada fries. He was like, I'll put in the good word, man. I'll go talk to him
You
tomorrow
gotta bribe him with
morning.
some carne asada.
So
Yeah.
he's doing a
Yeah.
good word
Some
because
bribe.
he called us back
Dude,
that day.
the
It's
same
like,
day.
The same day?
Email.
we got an email from them that night from
Yeah.
his GM. So
Oh,
Those
that's
fries
nice.
are
Doing
good.
something right.
Yeah, and they just gave us an offer like, hey, we have this location. If you guys want to set up, we could write out a lease agreement that we pay for a lease to set up in that specific spot. And they was like, it's available Thursday through Sunday, and we were looking to expand on the weekends more or less. We always envisioned it to be offered to like the late night crowd too, in PB, but at that original location in Crown Point, it was more of a daytime to 10 o'clock-ish. It was Mondays and Tuesdays only. And that's what they offered us. And we were like, we know we could do more, we could do better in a sense. And once we got the opportunity, we jumped on it, and it was right in October, I believe.
I think it was the first time.
October was our first month there. Yeah, so we're kind of fading out of the San Diego summertime, how it kind of is still nice in October and stuff. So I felt like we hit that spot at a great time that carried over into Halloween and then all the other holidays that came up. So we did pretty solid. I feel like.
And especially being at PB at around open till 2 a.m. almost.
2 a.m., yeah.
So that definitely plays into your favor.
Yeah,
Around the bars, around that strip area.
at
Yeah.
midnight, that's the rush. It's
It's
like a switch.
That's what I figured.
turns on. Yeah, it's
Have you guys gotten like a big midnight rush?
Oh yeah,
You get one
usually
there?
it's usually like at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock? I forget. Yeah. They all just start rolling.
It's a huge rush after 1, and it's
Yeah.
like we were prepared for it a lot of the times, and there's just these crowds of people just walking through PV,
Dude, they just start kicking people out of the club at like 1:30, 2
Yeah.
o'clock, and we're like, we don't know if we need to stay open until 2, and then
Yeah.
we see a giant herd of people, and we're like,
Yeah.
We gotta
hell
stay.
yeah, we're staying open.
They start throwing on burgers.
Yeah,
And
right.
fries
Order
start
up.
getting dropped.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah, we tried to create an atmosphere that carried over from the bar scene in a sense. So what I mean by that is we have loud music. It's mostly house dance music that I play. Just something that keeps the vibe and tempo up for people that are just kind of lingering around, walking by, wanting some food, and it kind of makes them stick around a little bit. And then we started putting up lights, little like party lights, and created a whole little seating section. And and it really reminds me of a tailgate. It's a cool tailgate vibe, and it's just something to, do a little after party where you could get like some food, and listen to good music, and there's just good vibes there. And that's kind of like what we noticed we captured with those late night PB runs on Garnet on the weekends.
Yeah. The house is definitely gonna drag the party crew from leaving the bars to you guys.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're closest bars we're near is PB Avenue and Moonshine. We're right in between
Oh,
those two.
Moonshine? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah, and then we also got like Society and Tavern, so like there's some of those people.
Right.
But those two crowds we notice we capture the most. Like people come from Moonshine, going up down the block towards the beach, or the opposite way. Leaving the avenue, going to Tavern, Moonshine, whatever, making their way more inland. So it was cool to like see how we could capture that with the music, the vibe, setting up there and creating a tailgate vibe like that. So makes it a little different than your normal pop-up stand.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that.
Sure.
And then I've seen your guys' food on your guys' Instagram, Fried Guys. Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I just want to say, have you guys had to deal with any bad reviews? Anything like that?
No, we never had a bad
Not
review.
really.
The only bad
I figured.
experience maybe is
Yeah.
more just drunk people not really
Oh,
like
yeah.
PB.
they just kind of like step a little too close to our kitchen. They
Yeah.
see like some of our fries that we pre-cook. We have like a little process that we do where we have a tray of fries that they're not fully cooked.
Right.
We've had a few instances where people just like
They reach over.
they just stick
No.
their hand in there and we're like,
We're like, yo, like,
That's
it's
not
not,
cool.
they're not even cooked.
Yeah.
and then they'll do it again, and it's
Yeah.
like just the principle, man. It's like,
Yeah.
you know they're not cooked, and now you're just putting
Yeah.
your hands in my food.
At that point, they're just being childish.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Do it again?
They got me out here talking with my hands.
Let's spaghetti meatballs.
They hit with a spatula.
Yeah. But no, we never had any bad reviews or anybody complain about the food in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, and if anything, we just see wild stuff happen there. Just whether it's drunk people, people driving by all crazy, you know, the homeless people encounters sometimes are a little like
They can get a
weird,
little
but
wild.
it's never been a bad like where we had to really kick somebody out or
Yeah.
like had to, you know, get in an argument with anybody. We never had like an issue like that, but
Well, I'm glad you guys have never been through anything like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty chill fried guys. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, man, I don't want to.
In that area, it's like there's gonna be that one crazy person, but it's gonna be surrounded by like 10 people who like have a decent heart. You know, they're not like they're gonna help.
Yeah.
us.
They're gonna step in, yeah.
Like no one's gonna just let some crazy dude be the crazy dude. Like everyone's gonna be like. We've had incidents where like people just grab their friend, just like nope, keep going. Like,
Yeah.
don't look at them. You know, it's like he's just too far gone. He's gonna
Yeah.
sit there for however long. So.
So how did you guys all meet originally?
So, I mean, Eric, you kind of
I'll
like.
let him do this one.
So
my little brother.
way back in the day, I grew up with his little brother.
Mhm.
So we all grew up and just a sequence of events, everything that happened. I ended up moving to Arizona for like a little bit in like 2018 or so. And we all kind of went our separate ways. Me and him actually moved into Arizona from Indiana.
We're making the band.
Yeah,
Getting
we're-
the band.
Getting the band back together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I like
just everything happened in these 5 years of just like, everything we had to go through. We all went our separate ways. I went up to Mendocino, lived there for a little bit, and we went back to Indiana. He was here, and then he ended up making his way out here, but it was just like, we all grew up together. It's like me and him have been playing sports since we were like, elementary
Yeah.
school. Me and his
Yeah.
brother grew up since like very young. So
Yeah.
once we all kind of got over here and everything happened, it's just like, it was like a reunion of all like,
Yeah.
like you said,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the Blues Brothers, like we're getting the band back together.
Yeah. Everything's just like fell into place.
Yeah,
I got
so-
a message from God. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, God.
I got a
a message from God.
challenge?
There's
No,
a
it was a-
message.
Yeah, I've always
Mission.
known these
That's
guys.
Mission from God. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known these guys for a long time. Is mainly because my little brother is like best friends with Eric for a long time, and since like second grade or something. But I was a little older. I was like 4 years older, so like I kind of just was like, I was friends with them, but I didn't really hang out with them when I was like a little kid, And then like it's more or less post high school, we started more or less
Yeah,
like
that happens.
yeah. Mostly started hanging out again.
Mhm.
You become a little more even once you're like, everybody's done with high school.
Oh, yeah.
but-
Once everybody grows
Yeah,
up a little bit, it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
There's always that little
Yeah.
awkward 2 years. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's
You get
gotta
over the
grow up a
little
bit.
brother stage.
Yeah.
You're like,
Wait, so
can I hang out?
how old are each of you guys?
Yeah, I'm 29.
So I'm 26 at the moment. Yeah, 26.
Okay, so originally I thought you were not the youngest, but like at least their age or younger.
I know, right?
Yeah,
I fit right there.
We're keeping them young.
yeah.
Percent, I like it.
Yeah, I always had the little baby face, so it's always easy to like,
Fit in.
just fit in with these guys or whatever, and as like I said, like after we started chilling, I just felt, we're all just equal.
Just the right vibe.
So
Yeah.
how did that all happen if you're all out of state, right? You're all in different states. How did this whole idea kind of come together? Were you just texting
It's
each
like
other?
FaceTime and Discord.
I got this.
Discord, yeah.
FaceTime and Discord.
I'm not gonna lie, we're kind of nerds, but we be playing Xbox. We be
Yeah,
playing
yeah. Talk over Discord. It's like
exactly.
a game
We
chat.
talking on the
Yeah.
Got the headset on.
Me and him had this idea, and this guy was all like, "Yo, San Diego is like perfect for that."
Uh-huh.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck it, let's go to San Diego.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Like, there's no other
Then we
better
visited
place
like
to be,
a
right?
year ago. Like once we visited, it was like no more convincing.
Nah,
You know,
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
like the
price
price.
I'll never
House,
leave
yeah.
this place. You know?
SoCal is the best, bro.
Especially when you
Not gonna lie.
like start to look into like demographic of like a food business
Mhm.
in a place like San Diego. You know, where, like people go all over the world just to come here for a weekend and then try fries. You know, or like see
Yeah.
us and be like, that one time I was in San Diego, I seen this. You know, so it's like
Yeah.
we notice that in the summer. It's like heavy of just like all the different people from
Mhm.
everywhere
Yeah.
just walking up. You know, like I'm from Indiana. It's like us too. You know,
Yeah.
just like the
Everyone's
little
visiting.
things.
Yeah, for
Especially
sure.
from the Midwest.
San Diego definitely brings a lot of travel,
Yeah.
a lot of tourism.
There was so
Mhm.
many
That's a good thing about
Irish
it.
people here this summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this-
It was
Yeah,
cool.
they
Like,
come
I'm
like Irish
expecting
and
Irish people?
versions
There's a lot.
of, like,
Every summer.
every
we
summer.
saw it.
Well,
They were everywhere.
Irish people and potatoes, they go hand in hand.
Yeah. It all fits
Yeah.
together.
So my dad's actually a chef. So when I was like 6 years old, he stopped doing what he was doing. He like manufacturing and started cooking. We went out here to visit when I was 6 or 7,
Okay.
and then at 8 years old, he moved out here to be a chef as well. So that's kind
Oh,
of how
okay.
he got. He ran Lou and Mickey's, which was like the busiest steakhouse in San Diego. They
Oh,
had
no
the first
way.
dry aged steak and
Fuck
flattenings
this
and all that stuff. So like he saw the opportunity of food and the weather, and he was like, oh.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the
So
big
he
one.
started as like just like a fry cook, and then he worked his way up. So that's
Mhm.
kind of a cool connection. Everyone here is from the East Coast. Everyone's from everywhere.
Yeah.
Except for this
sure.
guy. But
I'm from down here, boy. SoCal, baby.
Those people don't leave.
Yeah.
No, so where are you gonna go?
I honestly don't think I would leave.
yeah, I tried.
Hawaii.
There's a reason that everyone's from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Though, you know, it's like
Right.
they even come here. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have any culinary experience, or no? Did you guys just jump straight into this? Really?
That's all me.
He's
So,
perfect.
He's the culinary dude.
I worked at a country club, so I mean, I've always looked at eating food as, cooking food as a meta school
Mhm.
skill, right? So
Right.
it's like we all eat,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I was in my mind, I was thinking, man, I want to get good at that because I want to fucking eat some good food. I like to eat, and so growing up in school, we had kind of like a culinary class in our school because our school was kind of bougie. So
I like
I
that.
signed up and I was all
What-
like, that's free food and I get to learn how to make food. And so that's like half of a culinary degree. I come to find out, toward my senior year. So I was like, shit, that's cool. And I was happened to working at, Yuki, and then I worked in a pizza place, and I moved to Arizona, worked at another pizza place. And when I moved back home, I worked at a smokehouse, which was pretty fucking cool. Smokehouses are cool. But
That sounds really good.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like it takes a different kind of person to work
What's
in
it
a
called,
kitchen
Docs?
too. I don't know if you guys have ever worked in a
I
kitchen.
personally not, but this man has had plenty of experience
Yeah.
working
Well, I
in
worked
the
in
kitchen.
restaurants.
Worked in
I worked in
restaurants.
front of house, but like I said, my dad ran like an underground pizza shop out of our window at our apartment
That's
growing up
awesome.
and stuff. So
What? I
like,
didn't even know that. What the
yeah,
hell?
yeah. When
That's
I was
wild.
like 10.
That's wild.
12, yeah. So he did that for a while, and he ran all those restaurants. I was always, and my mom was a server until I was like 15.
Dude, he knows
Okay.
all
So
about
like,
it.
I've been
Yeah.
growing up in it, but
We're
like,
all rough around
they
the
always
edges.
told like if you want to work in the kitchen, you're gonna work hard, but you can make some good money in the front. So I was like, I'm gonna stay in the front of the house. They have me cold house, make salads in the back, and I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
These aren't good, but I appreciate it so much because like when I eat other people's food, I'm like, wow, that's like a lot of work to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And see, I appreciate that side of it because somebody told me something out of pocket, I'm gonna tell them fuck off.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Yeah, I gotta be like,
I'm
sorry,
gonna
sir.
sit in the back and talk some shit, cook the food,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hand it to someone who can deal with that problem. You know?
Yeah. Well,
That's why I got these guys here because I'm
Yeah.
just like,
That's why I get with the dudes in the kitchen. I'm like, hey, they said it wasn't cooked enough. They're like, I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'll go back to front. I'm like, he's remaking.
It's like,
Yeah.
He said that. He said I'm so
The cook's like,
sorry.
they're gonna eat it however I want it. However I cook it. And then the server's gotta be like, we're cooking it right.
you have to translate
We'll figure
for
it
the
out.
We'll figure it out.
From
got
like
you.
chef
Yeah,
to customer.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, like
He said I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that plays into like my role in a sense because actually my experience in culinary it's KFC and that was my very first job, right? And then I worked in like a fine dining restaurant, it was like an Italian restaurant, and so I've always been like on the lines of assisting like customer service type stuff, so. I was like, they need to just cook, I'll be in the front, I'll take the orders, I talk to everybody, and that's kind of just been my like skill in a sense when it comes to the dining experience, right?
Yeah.
So that's like a cool like way I feel like I've always been in like the corporate / like fine dining, right? It's like you have to present yourself a certain way, right?
Suit and
So,
tie.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I've always been kind of used to that, and
Mhm.
like, you know, making sure the customer's satisfied, right? So that's kind of like where I'm like, you know, then you just do your thing, man, you know, and
I'll try my best.
Yeah, and
I'll
I'll
try to
like
make it look good.
facilitate the front. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
And I can't do it alone, so I had to bring my best friend around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to do it.
That's awesome.
It makes it a lot more fun.
And
too.
you're loving it here?
We be bullshitting.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
And then
This
you
is
guys,
fun time out here.
yeah, and then you guys said you guys have done some events. Can you guys talk us a little bit about that? Some events you guys have done?
Do that.
Yeah, for sure. Our first one, like we were saying earlier, is the 4th of July event. And then after that was mainly like just beach parties collabs, and that's kind of like what we were like, okay, well we want to get into farmers markets, we want to get into like these festivals, like food fests and stuff, but we realized like we couldn't get into them because they just required a little more qualifications in terms of like having like certain permits from the health department, but mainly it's just competitive. Like if you do put in an application, there's so many other people that are other vendors that are trying to get in there and that are maybe a little more well known. And so I was like, we realized we needed to just do our own thing, create our own like events. And so I just started reaching out to other people that wanted to come hang out at the beach, you know, and then I made this relationship with my friend Ben Franco, and he started to do fitness like events like at the beach and the bay, and it was really more like just getting people together that are like want to have an active day at the beach by playing volleyball, like playing little games like tug of war and like a slip and slide relay thing, and we just kind of branched off from that and partnered up with him, and we started just making flyers for these little events, little beach party things, and we just did that kind of consistently throughout the summer, like after the 4th of July, and just started doing our own thing, you know. I was like, you know, like I said, we couldn't get into like farmers markets, we, you know, tried to do like those type of
Those are
routes.
probably pretty competitive.
They are,
Trying to do that.
and I was like, well, we gotta build this brand somehow, you know, and so we just did our own thing, and like I said, just started collabing with other people, and it just, you know, tapped into their networks, you know, other people share like what they're doing, you know, and it just kind of had a compound effect where people started to see us there, like, you know, kind of consistently, and then we started doing some sponsorship, like partnerships with local businesses in PB, and it was specifically like Blenders sunglasses and LSKD. It's like a athletic apparel brand that's based in Australia, but their headquarters are in Pacific Beach. So they would just give us free items to give out, to raffle out, and so we did like a collab with my friend Ben Franco that would help organize like and facilitate like the little like volleyball games that we did, the spike ball stuff, the slip and slide thing, and we would raffle off it to other people or the winners. And so people got free sunglasses. We got like a bunch of free sunglasses from Blenders and other like athletic apparel we just gave out, and so it was cool to like, you know, tap in with the other businesses that had stuff going on, and it just kind of helped elevate our events a little more. You know?
Yeah, and then people are on the beach getting their sweat on, and then after they can get their grub on. With
Exactly,
some
exactly.
That's
yeah,
pretty
that's
good.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
smart. That's
And it's
smart.
like that like attraction of like we spent a lot of time, I feel like, chasing the farmers markets and
We
like,
did,
really
yeah.
trying to like
Okay.
fit that, you know, mold and everything.
Mhm.
It just
So by the
wasn't.
time we realized like what are we doing, like is like one of our biggest inspirations is like the Grateful Dead. So we went to Shakedown Street in their last show in San Francisco. We like went to all three just to. We ended up like, it was kind of funny. We ended up getting in like no tickets. We like got into one of the shows.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
dead-
Like
it's a
front row.
dead
and,
show where
like,
you can get in somehow.
Yeah, so
Parents are deadheads.
and like
Oh, really? Yeah.
it's like that reminder of like
Yeah.
why we're doing this is like because we're all musicians. We all like
Mhm.
music, the festivals, that vibe. So
Mhm.
it was just a reminder. It's like we were trying so hard to get into something like important, you know, or like
Something,
what we
like,
thought
legit,
was
right?
how we need to do it, like like legit. And then we like remember it's like no, we need to just set up, and then you know,
Mhm.
kind of like the the quote, if you build it, they will come. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
we just
that's
started
pretty
doing
much
it
right.
ourselves, and then all like the story of just like the connections. It's all leads from just like being at the spot, doing it ourselves, to finding a spot to do it with other people, and then finding a spot to actually do it in a parking lot.
Right.
Now to being, asked to come to the busiest place in
Yeah.
TV,
If you guys were to set up outside of a Dead and Company show, oh my god.
Yeah,
Think
about
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Crazy. That would be
About doing
crazy.
it 'cause
People are fried and they get some fried guys.
They're going
That's
to the
crazy.
Sphere this year, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
the
little
Sphere
Las
is
Vegas.
really
I'm
think
in
about
over there.
just slipping in there and just like going to the shakedown street.
You might as
You
well,
know
yeah,
there's
just
gonna
sneak
be a
in there,
shakedown.
do a
the
little
goal
covert.
was to do
Yeah,
that.
you know.
Uh-huh.
But just like the way timing was, and we're brand new, so it was just like we wanted to go to just check it out, and then we found out like, oh, we could easily have done this. But it was just like the
Sneaky
idea of
peeky.
like we've never done this before,
Yeah, yeah.
and we're not trying to just like bring everything and just be in San Francisco with all of our equipment.
Yeah, so a little like sneak peek. I think Las Vegas coming soon.
Hey,
Like, we'll be there for
hey.
we might
I mean, I'm gonna be there, so
Yeah.
I'm see you guys
If
later.
we're not set up with
They-
the fries,
I'm looking for fried guys.
We'll
We're
be
looking for fried guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're definitely gonna be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, they have
Whether we
shows
get
in
the fries or
May,
not.
June, July. Yeah, so it's like early summer, spring, or
Okay.
late spring. Yeah,
That's dope.
yeah. So we might travel over there, but that is part of the spirit. It was just like we could do this. Like we could just set up, do our thing, and trying to not fit the mold of like doing like the farmers market is what we thought was legit, right? And we
Yeah.
still want to do all that stuff to be honest, but we just realized we needed to do something, and we couldn't just wait around to get
For it to happen.
for it to happen.
Do you guys want to have a food truck eventually, or do you like just the pop-up thing? Because that's the only thing I think would be cool for the Vegas would be easier
The
to
truck.
drive there.
Oh,
if you
yeah,
didn't
for
have
sure.
to
So
do
with
that.
the truck is like starting this whole process, doing all the research. Like we were so set on doing the truck. We were
Yeah.
about to get a big loan and just like
Uh-huh.
do a truck. And then we like started talking to more people that have done a truck. And then like it's one thing to do like the food, but once you're on wheels, that's when all of like the weird permits start coming
Oh,
in.
yeah.
You gotta
Really?
worry about
Different
it.
types of insurance involved. And,
Oh.
Because now it's a
I never heard about
vehicle that's a restaurant, So when we do the pop up, it's just like a
It's just a
tailgate.
pop-up.
It's
Yeah.
just a grill. There's we can. It's a little more lenient on what we have to do. We have our our food safety and everything,
Yeah.
but it's like when it comes with the
Yeah.
truck, we need like
Yeah, everyone can kind of see what's going on with the pop up, what's going on.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
so with the pop up, we realize like we're saving money, and people just they don't see what we do. Like what we do is like popular, but it's like not where we do it. So
Right.
to be on Garnett with a tent, people expect a truck, people expect all this, and
right.
the more we look into it, it's like why spend all that extra money on a truck when this tent is we can just make more tents. We can just like if we want to expand or put money into just what we're doing already, it's already minimum. So
Mhm.
just kind of having that like you could just
Yeah.
set up anywhere, like promoting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a big inspiration, to be honest, for us is Dave's Hot Chicken, because
Yeah.
the way they
Yeah.
started, it was in a parking lot in LA,
Mhm.
and they didn't even have a brand behind them. They just had a whiteboard menu just saying like chicken tender meals.
Mhm.
They just
And
had
Yeah,
they
so
were
somewhere
right
else.
on like Hollywood Boulevard, and it was just a good location for them. But we realized like just seeing them how they started their story of it was like 4 dudes or whatever that just had this idea is a very similar story we felt like to us, and just gave us the confidence to just go ahead and like do it the non-traditional way in a sense, and that's exactly what they did. And they've expanded so much across the country now in terms of franchising and taking it to that next level of from being in a parking lot to they eventually got a storefront and then expanded across the state and then the country. And that's something, a vision that I feel like we see ourselves like doing at some point. But we're in the very early stages in a sense. Starting this a year ago, but we feel like we are trending that way in terms of where we could take this business. To where we could take this brand. And we feel very confident that it's a lot of people can relate to it, and it can fit in a lot of different markets. So we're really excited to where this thing could really go.
Well, here's to the growth of fried guys.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cheers.
cheers,
Cheers to that one.
cheers, cheers. Obviously, I know, but do you guys want to kind of go on how the whole collaboration with us started? I know you were at our show in October.
Yeah, for sure.
If you guys want to go.
Yeah, so like,
Go. That's my marketing dude.
Yeah.
He did it well. He's doing his job.
yeah, a part of like, you know, what I do in a sense with like the Fry Guys, I always keep it in mind when I go out and I believe in like late spring or so, I just started doing, I go into like these shuffle meetups because I like to dance when I go out and I just kind of kill the dance floor sometimes.
Okay.
And once,
Okay.
and once Eric started coming out,
Okay.
These two are crazy. I
Yeah.
stay home.
Nah,
Yeah,
I can see
then
you
he's
get a little
a little
liquor in you.
I do
Untapped
get down
potential.
sometimes, but it's
Yeah,
like
I
it's a
can see
special
that.
occasion when I come up.
Man, that's like, yeah, I gotta
That's like me, bro. I'm like, that's
Yeah,
We're
then-
going out tonight, right?
Yeah, and he like would stay or whatever, which is cool. But Eric would always come out with me, and I didn't realize he was such a dancer. And once I started bringing him out, showed him the PV thing, and you know just San Diego in general, and we would just dance all the time. And so I took him to this shuffle meetup that I heard about from just going to like a show at Beach House. Somebody invited me like, hey, you going to the shuffle meetup on Thursday? And I was like, oh, I didn't know. I'll go though. And so I went. And I think it was like the first time I took you, like, I met Oliver, it was Revlo, he's a part of Control
Rebel,
Free.
yeah.
And I met him and was just chopping up with him, talking to him, and he was like, yeah, I'm playing at Mavericks, we got this thing next week, and you should come. And he was like, yeah, I DJ and stuff, and I was like, cool, yeah, like, and I just, everywhere I go, I kind of like, I'm always like open to meeting people and like what they got going on, and following like the music too, you know, and so I met Oliver, and he just was a cool dude, you know, and like just supporting him in general.
Gentle Giant.
Yeah, the Gentle Giant. That dude is so tall, man.
Yeah.
But he's so cool. Like,
He's soft on his feet though.
I didn't know how tall he was at first either, because I had, like, when I started, like, I just seen videos of him.
Right, yeah,
Through
for
our
sure.
first event, Damon's like, oh, he's gonna play. He walked up to the bar. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
You're a big dude. You know that seems like that.
Yeah. But yeah, so I just was, you know, I'm a fan of supporting anybody that's trying to do something, I feel like. And, you know, I feel like, you know, it's like that energy is like attracts in a sense. And, you know, I was like trying to support him in anything that he had coming up, like, you know, just getting his Instagram, whatever, and other events that he did, you know. So I just would kind of follow along as like you know, a listener and stuff, and I knew he was good, you know, and so he was just kind of promoting like the next things that he was doing, and you know, if it lines up with my schedule or whatever, like I would go out to support, you know. And so yeah, he had one event in October, and I believe it was like the early stages of Control and Freak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fungal Fantasy. Well, Damien had been doing it for a while, and then
Okay,
I
yeah.
joined in, and that was our first event together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember him like, you know, just promoting it and whatever, and I was like, yo, Halloween weekend, I know it's gonna be crazy, what are we doing? Like, me and my friends, and I took my friend Hayden, he's not here, but he's an original supporter of the Fried Guys, he's like a homie, but he went with me to the Fungal Fantasy. It was like, you know, this cool show that I see, and I was like, oh, this sounds like fun, like we should definitely go, and we could support Oliver too, you know. And so yeah, we went, paid tickets or whatever, and you know, and it was like cool to just support, you know, and also like just the dance vibe out, you know, and just like, and I seen like you guys did like a little interview with him too, and I was like, man, this is a cool group, like they're really like more in depth, like really trying to like promote their artists and like sharing their story in a sense, and it's like a different perspective of like what other music collectives here in San Diego do, you know. And I felt like you guys had something like special going on, you know, and putting an event together like that, and it was like an original space like that's not really made for that, you know.
Yeah,
and you
that's
guys,
that's crazy.
it was kind of, I was like, is this like a storage area? What? I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. Yeah, it was all cleared out for like a cool event, you know, and I really enjoyed myself there. And but yeah, it's so mainly Oliver and Revlo really like kind of connected that, I felt like, with you guys. And you know, and then just kind of following along with what you guys had going on. I'd seen other events that you did, at like AC Lounge, and I remember I took my mom and my stepdad there when they're in town, because
Yeah.
they love house music, being
Okay.
from like our area, Indiana by Chicago, like they grew up on house music. So
Okay, house is really popular back
yeah, it's
in
super
Indiana.
popular out there, yeah, and obviously it's a little different than like old school house music, but it's still the same like tempo,
The same
and
vibe.
rhythm,
Yeah, yeah.
and vibe, you know, and they loved it, and you know, and just like seeing other things that you guys had going on, it's just like I was just like, yo, I'm a fan and supporter, and like, you know, like I said, I'd love to just like support anybody that has stuff going on that's really trying to do something different, because we know what it is like to start something and like try to, you know, branch it out and like reach a different audience, you know, and you know, so it was just like a perfect like fit when you guys like reached out to us. Like it was like, yo, like this is awesome, because we love music. We always, you know, play house music at our pop-ups every weekend.
And it just makes sense.
Yeah, and it just made sense to us, you know, and so
It's
it's-
really cool because like when he told us like about that you guys hit us up and everything, it was like I wasn't sure if you guys hit us up or he hit you up, because we're always talking about like whenever you guys post or an event or have something coming, like we're always talking about like, man, we should do something with them sometime. So when you guys hit us up, it was kind of like a, have they been like hearing us? talk?
Yeah.
Dave-
It's like, are you listening to my phone?
Yeah,
It's
David
like,
told me to hit you guys up, and they're like, oh, like, we already watched your stuff. I was like, oh, that makes things so much easier.
It's
It's
like
like,
a-
what am I walking into right now? I've
It's
never
just
heard
all
of this before.
connected.
yeah, for sure.
He's like, we're meeting up with these guys, they do food, like, I'm like, do they know, like, about us, or he's like, oh yeah, they do. I'm like, okay, cool, that.
Like it was a matter of time before we would have hit you guys
Yeah,
up to be like, let's
Yeah.
do something. So it's like to get that, it was like we're all on the same page already. So it's like really cool to
That's
like,
awesome.
it's like when you talk about like, what's it called? Like, you talk about something like when your phone's next to it.
yeah.
Talk about buying something and you're scrolling, and as soon as you scroll, it's like, oh, it's right there. Like, I was just talking about this.
Ads.
Exactly,
No,
exactly.
And
not the Facebook ads.
And then when
Motherfuckers
you
are
met
listening.
when you met Oliver, did he have the sloth with him when he was DJing?
He was just there at the shuffle meetup
Okay.
as like a, you know, just like
Got
a
it.
like
Yeah.
attendee or whatever. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, his first show that I seen him, he had
The
the
sloth.
sloth. It was like an
Yeah,
average.
that's like the.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
That's his
sloth
little stick.
t-shirt now.
He's
He's
got a little sloth.
t-shirt. He puts
Yeah.
on Instagram a t-shirt.
Not like an actual one, like a
Stuffed animal.
stuffed animal.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
right.
No, not like the
Like a puppet, but
That's
he puts it in Instagram there with the slop on the t-shirt. I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
he's doubling down. But
He bet on himself.
yeah, imagine like a 6'5" dude DJing with the sloth.
Yeah,
Like a
He don't
fake
carry
sloth.
6'5".
Yeah.
It's like, who you
Tell
gonna
them
say?
start making merch, dude. People
Yeah.
will be buying that like crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody will know what the
Yeah.
hell this is about, but they're
Yeah.
like, look, here's a sloth on my
Sure,
shirt.
sure.
It's badass.
And then speaking of merch, you guys have some merch too, if I'm
Yeah.
correct, right?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
we like started with just like making these original T-shirts. We were like, you know, we need like,
showed off.
yeah, we had our OG T-shirts are the ones on the table. Just had the front patch on the corner of the chest, and you know, I kind of had the idea of, you know, just making it bigger, more on the back, and I put it on the Etsy store. Like I made an Etsy store for us to just like, people want to buy them, you know, they could buy it. And then just branching off of that, we were like, you know, we don't really have the most funds or budget to like invest into merch. You know, we were just kind of focusing on the food and stuff. But we were like, we really loved the brand and the logo. We knew we could do something more with it than just like these T-shirts, you know, our work T-shirts in a sense. But you know, Eric and I, and Vinny, like we all are friends with our boy TJ, and he's from Crown Point, Indiana as well. And he was kind of, I'm more of a new friend of his, but he was always friends with my little brother and these guys, and he was just like, yo, like I see what you guys got going on. I really want to help out in some type of way.
He had a little
He's
bit of FOMO.
Yeah, he's yeah. He's like, and he's in the military, and he's like, you know, I'm saving all this money. I don't do that much, you know, and I've just been saving this money. I want to like help you guys in some way. And he was like, if I could like maybe help with merch or something, that'd be awesome. And I was like, yeah, like, go ahead, like see like what you could come up with. Right now we have this Etsy store thing that we have like a little platform to put stuff on. If you have any more like ideas of like things to create, you know, go
Kind
ahead.
of like a pop culture in a way where it's like different, taking our logo, doing different things to it. And he's really
What was
been
his name?
TJ.
Shout out TJ.
Yeah,
Shout out TJ.
Did TJ make this logo, or did somebody
No,
else?
he did
Did you
this
guys
one
hire somebody?
No, the logo is actually.
Oh, I didn't even notice the fried.
Oh wait, what?
He just got
Yeah, this is a Fried Guy shirt. It has.
Oh, okay, all right.
Let me show it off correctly. I'm a little sweaty because I'm.
No, I like that. What the
weird,
hell?
but
Yeah.
I
Whoa,
like that.
that's
right?
crazy.
Yeah.
I thought I think
Shout
I was
out to-
wondering with that.
Oh yeah, you can't forget the arm.
You
Says
can't-
always
okay,
fried.
yeah,
I like
I was just
that. Where can you get?
dirty,
Is that
right?
on the store as well? I may have to come.
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it's all on the Etsy
Okay.
store. Dude, we got
Alright,
fucking
perfect,
swimming
perfect.
trunks now.
Swimming trunks?
Yeah.
Wine,
all
what
over
is it,
was
tumblers?
cool.
The wine
Yeah, we got
tumblers?
like wine tumblers, mugs.
Shout out TJ for real.
Yeah, TJ just started trying to like, you know, create like as much as in the sense that we can. That made sense too, you know, and
He's a blessing, man.
so you kind of put a little more money into like just putting it out there and
Mhm.
helping us promote it back at home too, like in Indiana, like where we're
He's up in,
from.
what is it, Washington?
He's in Washington and in the Army right now, and so he's like still out like in his like contract or whatever. But
It's cool. He goes out to the bars and he like has the logo on his
Uh-huh.
phone. That's his background.
Yeah, yeah. He's
And
like, oh, you
he's
didn't know?
nonstop talking about
Yeah,
it. And
literally.
we'll just get random followers and like we'll look where they're from and it's just like Seattle. We're all like
Yeah.
every day that
Yeah.
He's out there promoting. He's out there promoting.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah, so he helped us like take a bigger like expanding that like actually doing a merch line, and so we kind of have like a spring catalog, summer catalog that we got.
A spring catalog and a summer
yeah,
catalog?
Yeah, because you got swimming trunks, bucket hats, and stuff. So it's,
All right.
it's more like
All right.
that, you
I
know?
may have to get a fried guy.
club this summer.
No, I have to get a fried guy's bucket hat.
Yeah, for sure. And then he started branching out with the hoodies. There's this. We have a slogan. It's called "Always Fried." That's like our main slogan, "Always
Right.
Fried."
Mhm.
And because everything is fried, you know, that's like our thing, and we're always fried, you know. So,
Yeah, we're like, man, we've been tiptoeing around that.
Yeah,
fact
so-
this whole
Well, I
time.
mean, I can kind of tell with the guy with his eyes looking
His eyes-
red.
yeah.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, so the Fried Guys in itself is a play on words, so we were just like, let's keep it going with the
Yeah.
slogan, always fried, you know, it fits. And so he made like these hoodies that are like, it says always fried, but it's like,
It's in the
the
Pornhub letters, bro.
You know, I saw that one.
Yeah.
I saw that one where it was the first part was white and the next part was.
yeah, it
orange.
looks like,
I
so
was
it's,
like, I gotta
it's
cop
fun,
that.
you know, I mean, it's a cool hoodie, you know,
That's
so
awesome.
we got like hoodies, sweaters, and then t-shirts like that, and but like these bucket hats and
Mhm.
swimming trunks and stuff like that. We're trying to like just do whatever we can to, you know, further our brand and expand like the merch line, you know. So it's
Yeah.
cool because people could support us
Mhm.
without, you know, actually buying the food, you know, because since we are a pop-up, we're not always available or open
Yeah.
every
Winter.
like Monday through Sunday or whatever, you know. We don't have that type of like storefront yet in a sense. So people from afar, you know, they can support us like buying our merch like on our Etsy store at the Fried Guys. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Do you guys aspire to get a storefront at some point, or do you guys just want to keep the pop up and the?
yeah, we do. We want a storefront for
Cool.
sure.
Yeah.
we
Yeah, we might as well.
yeah.
Yeah, when in Rome.
Yeah,
might as
And
well.
it's more like kind of with like the entertainment aspect is like
Yeah.
we see ourselves more of like realistically we're like a concession stand. We're
Mhm.
like just a pop up something on the side. But if
I
we
remember
had
you
like
told me that one.
if we had like a place where like we could actually like, have a storefront and everything, like that would be in the corner and the side, but like
yeah.
you know, I feel like we all share the same, you know, motivation of like having a venue and having
Yeah.
shows and music and, you know, entertainment and like that's kind of what we would have that spot be. Where
Mhm.
fries on the side, you know, it's like
yeah,
we
that's
can
what we
can be our own pop up at, you know, a place, so it's like and then eventually, you know, he's been working in kitchens for a long time and he wants, you know, we all have this end goal of opening this nice, you know, Italian, this fusion restaurant of like just having, you know, that's gonna be more of like the storefront and everything. But with
Yeah.
Fried Guys, it's more like we're okay with it being
It's casual.
like concession
Yeah.
food or like, you know, we can
So-
have 5 pop-ups a day, you know, with the right employees just in different spots. So.
The best way I can kind of sum it up is, we're musicians, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
we want our friends to come on tour with us.
Right.
How do we make that happen? It's like, well, we gotta sell t-shirts, we gotta sell, you know, food or whatever just to get to the next spot,
Mhm.
right? And it's like, that's some Grateful Dead shit. It's like,
Yeah.
we're on stage
No,
playing
that's
music.
for real.
And we got all of our best friends on a stand, you know, right outside of the place on Shakedown, just making hella money. so they can make it to the next spot with us. Because we just want to fucking party with our friends at the end of the day and
Yeah.
travel the world. You know, it's like that's 100% what I feel like most people are looking for. And it's
Yeah.
like, especially nowadays with how crazy shit is in the world, you know, you look on your phone and you're like, what are they doing now? It's like, throw this thing away, dude, I want to do something cool. You know, it's like, that's kind of my idea is we play some music, and if we got our friends making money on the side, and, you know, other people that happen to also love music, it's like,
Right.
we're brothers.
Yeah, it takes us back to like that first event with 4th of July where it was like, it's just a whole atmosphere that we created with the music and the food right there being like, it just complemented it, and that's what makes like this partnership with Control Freaks so special. I feel like it matches exactly what we want to bring in terms of like creating like an environment like that. And honestly, it's funny because Sandbox Pizza in Pacific Beach, how they started to do like this nightlife thing there on the Saturdays, and with basically turning it into like a nightclub.
We played there during SantaCon.
Oh, really?
Guys, we were actually there.
Damien played.
Damien, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we went over to AT Lounge, I believe, after, so we were only there for like an hour.
Okay.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, but it's cool how it's could be something during the day. You know, we were offered food and stuff like during the day, but we want to create a cool atmosphere at night where it becomes like a venue, and it's like something that attracts almost a different crowd, but we're still there serving food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just creates it's like a little party, right? And you know, we feel like, you know, just being like music oriented, you know, that's something that we embrace, and I feel like we could create that environment with the storefront, you know. So
Perfect. Have you guys ever wanted to do a pop-up in Indiana? Maybe Crown Point, bring it back to hometown?
yeah, we
So, at
definitely
some
thought
point?
about that for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
We even like thought about doing it last year in a sense,
Yeah.
but it's just like, you know, logistically it's kind of a little
It's
tough
just-
with our
yeah.
equipment.
Vegas,
It would
and
be-
stuff.
yeah.
hard, right?
Yeah, exactly, and you know, it's a long drive, right?
Yeah.
Oh, drive on
30 hours.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
but like, I'd love to be at our Lake County Fair, which is right in the middle of our hometown.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
One day you'll do it.
If we were there, bro, we would have all of our friends come through. They would be. We have a little party inside of the fair.
Yeah.
They would have
Yeah.
to kick us out because we got
Make
too
our-
rowdy.
You make your own beer garden.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the cool part is like when we like really do look at it, it's like our biggest support is back home.
Mhm.
We have a lot of people. We actually have a lot of friends we went to school with who are actually like in training right now. Like they're all working jobs and like
Okay.
they're like we're gonna be out there like whether it's out here or them doing a stand out there. So
Mhm.
you know in the future we definitely look to expand to like hopefully have a tent there at all times because we have like. Compared to out here in the Midwest, like people think of it out here as impossible. Like it's not possible for me to just leave and go to California. Like they have so much going on and they're just kind of tied down. So in their heads, it's like we have like one friend, our buddy Nate, who's like really determined to come out here, and he's told everyone that like you know he's kind of making that a plan. But it's like we have a lot of people with that just passion and drive that are just like willing to come out here and work or willing to stay there and work and whatever that is like that's Fried Guys, you know, it's like just like that idea and just like being a part of it is like you know that's kind of what makes it easier for us to actually expand and like do something like that is like having that support back home is like and we like Jay always brings up is like we can't go back yet, you know, it's like we gotta kind of show them we're doing our thing out here and like which we are, we're really like you know doing the most I would say out here to do what we can, and then once we do go out there, like it's gonna be special. Like we can go out there now and it will be, but we know in like a year from now, like around the Lake County Fair, which is like the fair for that area, it's like it's gonna be really cool. So just kind of enjoying like the anticipation of all like, you guys ready? It's like,
Yeah.
Maybe next week. Maybe
Are
next
you ready?
month, Yeah.
This Sunday night.
And my parents haven't even tried our food yet.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
so
Oh,
it's
wow.
like- and they're back in Indiana, so it's like for just to go out there, it's like they're all waiting for it too. So
That's awesome.
Nice.
Alright, well, you guys are a food company, so what's your most popular thing on the menu?
It's definitely, it's like basically a tie between the Cali burger and carne asada fries, but I feel like it's more or less the Cali burger because I think it's just something that most people don't see on the street, and but also the carne asada fries, people gravitate to that because that's so popular here in Southern California.
That would be
And-
for sure hot
yeah.
seller down here.
Yeah, for sure. And it's funny because like where we're from, it doesn't even like exist. Like all the Mexican restaurants or whatever in Indiana and Chicago, they don't like sell carne asada fries like that. You know,
There's no like.
I never had it
out
until I
there
moved
either.
here. You know, yeah, I moved here like two and a half years ago, and like that was my first time having carne asada fries.
And
know?
they're
Yeah,
life changing almost.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and we made it our own, like with our seasonings and stuff, being like fresh hand cut potatoes as well. Like it's a big difference between like the taco shops and what we offer. I feel like with carne asada fries, but those two definitely, like the Cali burger and carne asada fries, are our biggest ones, and the fried dog is probably a good runner up to that.
Yeah, that's
to
a
those
good,
two.
like,
And it's a hot dog, but it's
little
chili cheese
snack.
fries on a hot dog.
Oh,
That's
that just sounds
basically
wonderful.
simple, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like-
So we are gonna be making carne asada fries for you guys tonight, but we are gonna be making some, buffalo chicken. We got this little secret
Okay.
menu
Okay.
idea that like, if you see this and you ask for it at our tent, we'll tell them to make it for you.
Mm.
And we're obviously gonna make Cali burger, cause that's awesome. I want one right now, that's all. And we got our 3 signature seasonings that we're also gonna make just some fries for, and we're all gonna munch down on that pretty soon here, so.
Yeah.
Awesome.
for sure.
The Cali burger is it's kind of our twist on like a California burrito. Is just something we like put together, put all the ingredients on a burger, and like kind of like the story with that was we had our first event, which was it the JIT event?
Yeah, it was like not our event, but it was like something that we just were like, we were doing our test runs in the park, and some people came up to us like, hey, you should like, we're having like a little like get together tomorrow, kind of like basically in the park.
Which
you
is
know?
the 3rd of July, because it was right before our first like real event.
Yeah, and like at our cookout or like when we set up like for those practice runs, we just bring burgers and hot dogs just for ourselves. We didn't really envision it to be on the menu like that, but we just had it there, and we were like, maybe we could sell some hamburgers and and some hot dogs, and we didn't sell one hamburger at that like little thing, and we're like, how can we like make this different? You know what I mean? I was like, the burger doesn't really match the Fried Guys if it's just a burger. So how about we like put fries on it? But also like, what do people love out here? Carne asada fries. Let's like maybe like put a little twist on it where it's like the Cali burger. So we just put avocado on it. Well, it's guac on it and
Yep.
cheese and bacon,
I
and then
can't
we
wait.
put our
Can't
Cajun.
wait.
Yeah, and then we put our Cajun
Uh,
our Cajun fries on the burger, like as a topping, and it just created a whole like something I'd never even like tried before, and when we had that for the 4th of July, that was like one of our best sellers.
Dude, we sold fucking
We
20
sold so
burgers.
many, yeah.
I couldn't even keep them off the grill, man. People were just
Yeah.
buying them off of me.
It was
It
cool
was awesome.
to go from like how can we sell these to like
Can we
like
stop
making
selling
one little
them?
change to not being able to stop selling them. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Sure.
Well, we should head over to the kitchen now and try some burgers.
Yeah,
Fries.
yeah.
Tune in next episode. We're gonna have the Fried Guys make us some delicious food. Let's see if it's good.